The most powerful artificial intelligence models depend on a single company operating on a single island. In 2023, one firm, Taiwan's Semiconductor manufacturing company, produced over 90% of the world's most advanced logic chips. Without them, the global tech industry would grind to a halt. This extreme concentration is not an accident of history or geography. Taiwan's dominance is the calculated result of a decades-long government strategy, a revolutionary business model, and a series of strategic fumbles by its primary competitor, the United States. The story begins in the 1970s. Taiwan, seeking a path beyond low-wage manufacturing, needed a new economic engine. Guided by Minister K.T. Lee, the government decided to bet on a nascent technology, semiconductors. They established the Industrial Technology Research Institute, or ITRI, to acquire foreign technology and build local expertise. In 1985, they recruited Morris Chang, a Texas Instruments executive, to lead this new effort. 2 years later, Chang founded TSMC. His idea was simple but profound. At the time, major chip companies like Intel were integrated device manufacturers, or IDMs. They designed their own chips and manufactured them in their own factories, called fabs. Chang proposed a pure-play foundry model. TSMC would not design any chips of its own. It would only manufacture chips for other companies. This move created the fabless chip industry. Companies like NVIDIA, Qualcomm, and eventually Apple could now focus on designing powerful chips without needing the billions of dollars to build a fab. They sent their designs to TSMC. This division of labor was incredibly efficient. While Intel focused on its own CPU business, TSMC focused on perfecting the manufacturing process for hundreds of different clients. This focus created a deep well of expertise. It also required immense capital. In 2023 alone, TSMC's capital expenditure was over $30 billion. TSMC Q4 2023 report. This spending created a technological moat. TSMC mastered new, complex technologies like extreme ultraviolet lithography ahead of its rivals. As a result, when it comes to the most advanced chips, those with transistors smaller than 10 nanometers, TSMC's market share is over 90%. Boston Consulting Group 2023. While Taiwan built this ecosystem, the United States was dismantling its own. The fabless model was so successful that American firms offshored their manufacturing. This made perfect sense for individual company balance sheets, but it hollowed out the nation's industrial base. In 1990, the U.S. accounted for 37% of global semiconductor manufacturing. Today, that number is just 12%. SIA Factbook 2022. Skeptics argue this concentration is simply the market at work. They would say TSMC just built a better mousetrap. They have a point. Intel made critical, self-inflicted errors in the late 2010s, failing to deliver its 10-nanometer process on time. This technical failure opened a massive window for TSMC to capture the high-end market. Morris Chang's foundry model was a brilliant business innovation, not a government handout. But this view ignores the initial catalyst. The Taiwanese state did not just let the market work. It actively created the conditions for success, funding the initial research, securing the technology, and headhunting the leadership. It was a public-private partnership from its inception. This concentration of critical manufacturing on an island that Beijing considers a rogue province has created the world's most dangerous economic chokepoint. A conflict in the Taiwan Strait could halt global electronics production overnight. In response, the United States has passed the CHIPS Act, allocating over $52 billion to reshore semiconductor manufacturing. The White House 2022. Europe and Japan have launched similar initiatives. TSMC itself is building new fabs in Arizona and Germany, but these efforts face immense hurdles. Building an advanced fab takes years and tens of billions of dollars. It also requires replicating the dense network of suppliers and specialized talent that took Taiwan half a century to cultivate. The question is not whether the world can end its dependence on TSMC in the next year. It cannot. The real question is whether these new industrial policies can build a viable alternative before geopolitics makes the question irrelevant.